I don't trust people anymore, not because I hate them, but because every single fucking hand I held eventually dropped me. I showed up when it was uncomfortable, when it was heavy, when nobody else wanted the responsibility. I stayed loyal, stayed patient, stayed silent, and still got left like my effort never mattered. People love you when you're useful, but the second you need them, they vanish without explanation. Look at me, that shit changes you, because you realize trust isn't rare, consistency is. I didn't become guarded for no reason. I became guarded after being dropped too many fucking times. Every promise that broke, every silence that followed, taught me exactly how people really move. So if I don't trust people anymore, understand, this isn't bitterness, it's survival.
Get your life, get your life, get your life, baby. I got mine, why you could serve my mind, baby. Feeling me, that's why they killing me, lately. Get your life. Get your life, get your life, get your life, baby. I got mine, why you could serve my mind, baby. Feeling me, that's why they killing me, lately. Get your life. Run up when you see me, no disguises. Keep that thing with me, cause I don't do surprises. J Chanel, show and tell, all facts, no lies, streak. Get your life, cause I'm the type that come through with that 9 quick. Eyes on me, what you care for? Watching me, baby, care for. If you ain't a fan, where the cameras? Hide in the back with the bellboys. My circle so restricted. Hands raised like it's your religion. When I sleep, pay close attention. Fake friends out here protected. Get your life, get your life, get your life, baby. I got mine, why you could serve my mind, baby. Feeling me, that's why they killing me, lately. Get your life. Get your life, get your life, get your life, baby. I got mine, why you could serve my mind, baby. Feeling me, that's why they killing me, lately. Get your life.
Focus there.
Watch them cause they after me like a pot of gold. I'm not for play, ask Keisha if you don't know. I'm a little bit cray-cray, approach me, you better be right. If you don't come correctly, you can catch these cans tonight. Eyes on me, what you care for? Watching me, baby, care for. If you ain't a fan, where the cameras? Hide in the back with the bellboys. My circle's so restricted. Hands raised like it's your religion. When I sleep, pay close attention. Fake friends out here protected. Get your life, get your life, get your life, baby. I got mine, why you could serve my mind, baby. Feeling me, that's why they killing me, lately. Get your life.
Get your life.
Get your life, get your life, get your life, baby. I got mine, why you could serve my mind, baby. Feeling me, that's why they killing me, lately. Get your life.
Get your life, boo.
Don't admit what their people do. If you go back into the 90s, I'm sorry, Tasha, I love you to death. But a person, a melanated person who came across that border on a 14th Amendment or who choose to come here, they're not the same as us. And let me be clear, not everybody who is a FBA actually was enslaved. Some of them were free. So I think it's very important for us to learn our history and understand that. And I think you feel attacked by the idiots that did what they did or said what they said to you. But I refuse to sit here. And my issue with some of them is they don't admit what their people do. If you go back into the 90s, the movie Sugar Hill, it'll show you where some of them have literally, and I'm sorry.
Y'all, by the look on her face, she is very aware of that Akata term. She has likely heard her Nigerian husband's family refer to her as such.
Now, what I won't do, I appreciate everybody, but what you're not going to do, and that's as far as Africans, they have pejorative terms for us as a group. We have been known as an Akata, a Jank, a Yankee, all these things, and that has been over the years, even in the 60s, 70s, and before that.
Yep.
A person who ran across that border today and anchored themselves here by the 14th Amendment that was meant for the babies of slaves is not the same. That is a melanated immigrant. Everybody originated from Africa. Let's understand that, everybody, including white people. But if it's divided,
no, everybody didn't originate from Africa. That's another lie we gonna put to rest. We gonna put that bullshit to rest too. That's the whole reason why black folk can't. That's the reason why it took this long for black folk to have some self-respect, because of that lie they keep telling.
I stood for some FBA. to label their lineage, then it's just as divisive when nobody says. Anything about, oh, they're Bahamian American or they're Caribbean American. It's not the same thing. There is a difference. We all were enslaved, but there is a difference.
Everybody wasn't enslaved either. She just said that a few minutes ago. Everybody wasn't enslaved.
From us and a boat stop. And that's only offensive.
And I won't never, and I didn't come here on no boat. You feel me? Like, bro, let me tell y'all something. I'm gonna tell you some real shit. And Tasha K, she knows she messed up. She knows she messed up. She knows she messed up when she started running her mouth. She didn't think. I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna tell you why she did what she did. For the same reason everybody else do what they do when it comes to FBA. They don't think that smoke is coming. See, they have been used to. A lot of people have been used to talking crazy about Black Americans.
No sound? You mean I've been talking this whole time and y'all didn't hear me? Really? Can y'all hear me now? Can y'all hear me now? Put a 1 in the chat if y'all can hear me. No? I can't tell. You can hear me now? I don't know what happened. Did y'all hear Chat GPT explaining about the origins of man? And did y'all hear me say any of that? How long was I gone? Damn it, man. Edit, edit, edit. Y'all didn't hear none of that, huh, Short? Tragic. But anyway, we heard angry man. Let me go back a little bit here. Let me go back a little bit so I can cover this correctly. Okay.
She knows she messed up. She knows she messed up. She knows she messed up when she started running her mouth. She didn't think. I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna tell you why she did what she did. For the same reason everybody else do what they do when it comes to FBA. They don't think that smoke is coming. See, they have been used to. A lot of people have been used to talking crazy about Black Americans.
And this is what you too, angry man. That is your whole stick. It almost exclusively and predominantly Black women. Again, the term scrag came from you. Heaven forbid that, what's her name, Will Smith's wife, get out of line. Heaven forbid that Megan Good do something. Heaven forbid that Lizzo do something. Heaven forbid that any Black woman steps out of line, according to you. You're the guy that last week or week before last had on a T-shirt that said Wino Nation. Ain't that right, ABT? Beano Nation, black in name only. You separated yourself. You and your angry ex, y'all separated yourself from FBA and ADOS. You can go back in your archives, angry man, and find that you have separated yourself from the community. So this cannot be no more to me than a grift. Hoping Tasha K sees you. Let me catch the bandwagon to fame in any way I can. Let me talk about Tasha K. Maybe she'll invite me on a program like Poetic Flacco. You've been chasing Kevin Samuels' fame since the man passed, and you ain't caught it yet. You done dyed your beard. You done went on. You done had tea with other. What you done went on panels where y'all was talking about tea time. They sure did, V-Dub. They let her know. Whether you agree or disagree, but money that when you hit somebody in that pocket. They tell you that it's a storm brewing outside, so y'all might hear some thunder in the background. But you're absolutely right there, V-Dub. They let her know, no, we're not going to stand for that. Again, black men and black women aren't the same by no stretch of the imagination. But one thing we all agree on, you're not going to fuck with our heritage and our and our lineage. You're not going to compare black people to the Klan and get away with it. And you're absolutely right there. No ego. They all have chased that Kevin Samuels fame. Whether you agree with Kevin Samuels' talking points or not, one thing you cannot say that Kevin Samuels was, he was marketable. That's the one thing that angry man you will never have. You are not marketable. I don't see, not unless it's for a weight loss commercial. But again, we found out at the end of Kevin Samuels' life that he wasn't living the life that he said he was. That's all I'm saying about that. But again, this guy run around Beano Nation like somebody said, so when did you become FBA, angry man?
They've been used to it, but they don't realize today, people that consider themselves foundational black Americans, we may argue, bicker, go back and forth about a whole lot of stuff, a whole lot of topics. But the one thing we not going back and forth about today is all of these new niggas in the diaspora talking crazy about black Americans.
But again, you do it. But again, you do it. You do it on damn near 90% of your streams as you, angry man, talking crazy about black Americans. When you're on live panels, you're talking crazy about black Americans. That's where the majority of pushback comes from you because of your content about how you speak about black Americans.
We're not going for that today. We're not going for that today. We're not going for that BS, no way, shape, or form. So she at this point, she knows she messed up. She didn't think the backlash was going to be like that.
Now, I will say, angry man, right there, I agree with you. I think this was a case of taking your audience for granted. I think this was a case of taking your subscribers that you can push them to the limit. And I keep saying this, folks, forgiveness should not be in our vocabulary anymore. Forgiveness has got us to here to where people think they can say any damn thing they want to. Come on with a live stream apology, and that should be the end of it. Well, 30K folks decided to say, you know what, Tasha, that ain't good enough. Again, for some, they may not seem like nothing, but it's much more than just YouTube. It's much big. This is about, again, I walk with Tasha K. So again, I'm one of those. I don't know what he is there. No ego, to be quite honest with you. I really don't know. But I bet if he took a DNA test, that's all I'm saying.
It's gonna be like that. But in this day and age, folks ain't playing about that. But here's the other thing, man. We got to stop it with these lies. Every one of us did not come from Africa. Every one of us, not us, but every one of us, not all of our forebears came from Africa. Not all of our forebears were enslaved, and not all of our forebears were on a damn ship.
Hence the delineation of ADOS, American Descendants of Slave, versus FBA, Foundational Black America. That is the distinction. That's where people are having the problem with. ADOS has been around a little bit longer than FBA, which is a phrase coined by Tariq Nasheed. And again, thank you for pointing out that I know someone's going to say it again, but I spelled his name wrong for a reason. He's not really part of this. You see him in the background barking at Tasha K. The Tariq is how the American version of how they spell that name.
I certainly wasn't on no ship. I didn't come here on no ship. I was born here. And that's another thing we got to stop doing. We got to stop talking about ourselves as if we're the ones that were enslaved. You gotta say it properly. You gotta say your forebears were enslaved. Because me personally, I think constantly saying, yo, when we were slaves, I think psychologically it makes us think we're still slaves. I think psychologically it makes us think we're still in that space. I'm not in that space. So I'm not going to be referring to myself as no damn slave. I'm not going to be referring to myself as coming from Africa because I didn't come from Africa. I ain't never been to Africa. And I'm not going to freaking refer to myself as, oh, I got off the boat here in what? No.
I don't think, y'all correct me if I'm wrong. I could be wrong about this, but I don't think anyone living today that says that I got off the boat. I think all of us say it like this, when back in our ancestors, how we got here. Yeah, you're right there. See, again, more educated folks over here. That folks come over here and they drop knowledge. Angry man, unlike you. And again, you're right there, V-Dub. But not to say that he coined the phrase. And thank you for the pointing that out. But he made the phrase famous. He put I guess he put the gas in the tank, so to speak. He gave it life. He breathed it more air. But then again, what he's talking here now, JoJo, it's about JoJo dancing. Wow, that's an old movie, a Richard Pryor montage referral right there.
Oh, I didn't get off no boat. You feel me? I ain't even never been on no damn. I've been on a regular boat in a lake. I ain't never been on no damn cruise ship.
That's not the point, angry man.
Much less a damn slave ship. So no, we not doing that. We're not doing none of that goofiness.
That's
now,
not the point.
Should Tasha K feel some backlash for what she said? Absolutely. But see, she was feeling herself.
Okay, well,
she was feeling herself because if you really want to.
Okay, well, angry man, why should not have Just Pearly Things feel some backlash when she said that slavery was a choice? Why shouldn't Kanye West have got some pushback when he said slavery was a choice? Why shouldn't all these folks that say chattel slavery, and like you, that you also said that there's a difference between chattel slavery and antebellum slavery? What's the difference, angry man? You still have never answered that question. See, all of these things that you have said. So my question to you and the angryites again, Ramsey and the FBA, my question to you again, sir, is why are you in the business of Tasha K and the FBAs talking about her disrespecting black folks when you do it and your folks do it on a daily basis? Clout. Absolutely, V-Dub. Some of us did come here on boats. And some of us, it's not hard to believe that although they did not make the Americas their home, I've explained this before, if you put a boat with a sail on it at the west coast of Africa, at some point in time, you will end up on the east coast, just the sail power alone. You'll end up in Florida, you'll end up Louisiana, or somewhere on the Carolina coast. We can go back to the pyramids and see that there were such things as gliders there. There were such things as boats there. What do you think they just used them for? What? At one time, hey Jojo, one time Angry Man said he had Irish, not was it Irish, Scottish in him. He said that on a live stream. He said, "Yeah, I got Scottish. I got Scottish blood in me too." He said that on a live stream. Angry Man, fall out the clouds and tell me I'm wrong. But this is the difference of folks who get on there talking about chasing clout, like somebody accused me and my panelists of the other day, and somebody giving information, which you'll see in a little bit, the information, man, and how he does it. He's not chasing clout. He's telling Tasha K and anybody who thinks like her how wrong you are to put black folks, whether it's ADOS or FBA in the Klan, in the same fucking light. Yeah, that storm is getting worse out there, folks. So again, we lost power around here yesterday. So if we lose it again, you know, Mother Nature sometimes got an odd way of shutting you up. But let's go, Angry Man. While Mother Nature's letting me talk about you here, let's go.
Be honest, with black women, there's no difference between a black woman that feels like she's better than.
See, that's what I'm saying. Some way or the other.
Because she's in a relationship with William Cartwright or Kunta Kinte. There really ain't no difference. She thinks she's better because she's in a relationship with Kunta Kinte. Like y'all have seen it in our media, where you'll have black women on these movies and these TV shows, and they always get up with some African dude, and he's supposed to be like an African prince or some shit. And like, man, get out of here, man. Get out of here. And let me show y'all something. I'm gonna show y'all something, right?
Nigga.
To everybody that love to be like, oh,
nigga. Wait a minute. Nigga, what did you just say? What did you just say? You listen.
That's the dumbest thing you could have said. What are you, an idiot? I'm a 3-sandwich eating pot belly, no content having motherfucker.
To say some shit like that. You watching Coming to America, one time too many, bro. But in the information, man, when you start reviewing, when I start reviewing his stuff, you will see the historical difference between this shit coming out of your mouth and why people are really upset. Why she lost 30K in subs. Why it's going to affect her bottom line in one way or the other.
We African. Let me show you something. I'm going to show you some realness, right? Let me show you this.
Y'all look at this. We is not the same.
The biggest dog market in Nigeria.
We would never.
This market attracts buyers from thousands of kilometers away. A dog here could sell for between
Nigeria. They have a dog market. They have a dog market.
What that mean? What's that mean? What's that mean?
Yeah. Just let that sink in for a second. I'm sorry. Look, let me tell y'all something. I'm gonna tell y'all something for real. And y'all can talk crazy about me if you want. You can get mad at me. I'm a dog person. I am.
Well, don't take a dog to Nigeria. Don't take a dog to some parts of the Philippines because they consider them, I say, folks, a delicacy. Just like over here, we consider a cow a delicacy. Those folks over there in some parts of the world look at what the fuck are y'all doing eating a cow? Some people, believe it or not, folks, do eat dog. I'm sorry. I know in some parts of the world we consider that our friend, our pet, but in some parts of the world, you can look it up if you want to, they consider dog on the menu. Well, that's who I was referring to. I mean, the sacred cow. They don't eat cows. So the same way we think it's gross to eat dogs, the Hindus thinks it's not only is it gross, it's sacrilegious to eat a cow.
I'm a dog person. I love dogs. I love dogs. The only reason I don't own a dog right now is because every time I've had a dog that died or that I had to get rid of, it broke my heart. The only reason I don't have a dog right now is because I don't think I can handle.
Listen, folks, this is a true story. I'm not going to say my guy's name, but some years back, I used to work somewhere on the West Coast. And this was around the 4th of July holiday. We was getting ready to clock out for the day. What you doing this weekend? Man, I'm just going to chill. What you going to do? We going to go to the pound. Or you going to go rescue a couple dogs? That's cute, man. No, we're not going to go rescue them. So I'm sorry, folks. What we might not find to be on the menu, some people do. If you go to the Philippines, there's a thing called balut. I'm not eating it, but to them, it's a delicacy. I'm not, right, Jojo. If you go to some parts of Africa, they'll roast a monkey in a heartbeat. I'm not eating monkey if I don't know about it. No, I'm sorry. You're absolutely right, that logical assessment, stepping in the door with some of that logical commentary. Mother Nature don't know color. Sure don't. Let's go.
Losing another dog. I don't think I can handle it, right? So to watch these uncivilized savages over there marketing, selling dogs for consumption.
You can tell. You can tell this is somebody that's never traveled the world. You can tell that this is someone that has never traveled the world, that has never been outside of the continental United States. And if he has, it's probably been to some place that everybody been to, Jamaica, the DR. But you're not deep into culture because there's some things that maybe he's never watched. What's that? Andrew Bourdain, rest his soul. But some of the food that he used to feature on, there ain't no way in God's green earth I would ever thought that was fit for consumption. But what we consider the United States of America, Angry Man, as a delicacy to some of them folks is crap. And see, there's some more great information. Appreciate that. No ego. I guess you don't have an ego there, brother, because a lot of folks don't like giving credit where credit's due. So let me read that. V-Dub, your Yvette Carnell started the foundation acronym ADOS, American Descendants of Slaves, which Tariq Nasheed, which Tariq supported, and I guess he got into a beef with Carnell, and then he formed FBA, essentially the same concept. And you're absolutely right. That's why they split up, because they couldn't get along. There is a history behind everything. It's like the Temptations. David Ruffin wanted to be in charge. Welcome to the David Ruffin and the Temptations. Some folks like being in the limelight. And no disrespect to Tariq Nasheed, but the Hidden Color series gave him a little bit more visibility than Carnell. Right, V-Dub. You go to some places in Korea, there's cricket, grasshoppers, all bugs. What do you call them? The hissing cockroaches. All that's on the menu. Earthworms, grubs, all that's on the menu. And I guarantee you, if you out in the wilderness and you get hungry enough, when it comes to starving, you'll turn over a root or a tree branch or a dead log and get that grub up out of there, because that's chock full of protein. It's called survival. Thank you. He threw me some thunder behind that one. Let's go.
It makes me want to puke. It makes me sick to my stomach. But we're supposed to be, we're from Africa and we're just like, man, speak for yourself. Speak for yourself, brother. In fact, let's drop some more knowledge.
What's up with it, y'all? So I want y'all to look at this picture behind me. I want y'all to look at it, and I want to ask y'all a question. Do you know any continental African or anything or any person, any group that dressed like this, that started dressing like this, that made this popular, that made this ism right here? You see it. Name a group that step out like this. This is what I say when people say, what's the difference? We're all the same. We're not. Just because we share the same skin, we're not the same. And this is what I'm talking about when I say we're not the same. Have you guys seen any movie or anything close to this? If they were so close to this right here that you see behind me, why don't you see it anymore? Why it never made it to Africa? Why didn't this look never make it to Africa, y'all?
Huh?
Oh, well, Angry Man, why
look? They're
let's
obsessed with us, bro.
Wait a
Check
minute,
this out.
Let's see.
African Americans, everybody.
Okay, so I guess you just didn't want to answer the question. It's called culture. Their culture is different from ours. Their style of dress is different from ours. Their language is different from ours. What we might see as fashionable, because if you look at Black America as a whole, we wearing Sergio Valentes, we wearing polos, we wearing ISR. And back in the 70s, when we had the Black Power movement, everybody had the little Africa thing, or medallion around their neck, wearing dashikis. So we in Black America tried to adapt to the African culture. Well, you wouldn't know that, Angry Man, because I don't know where you was around back then, but I know damn well you don't read, so you wouldn't have known that. Maybe since you like watching TV, go and watch the episode of Sanford and Son where Lamont and what's his name, Rollo, was dating the two African girls. Now, I see you got Godfrey on the screen, so I'm going to speak about Godfrey for a minute. I remember when Godfrey first started his Instagram channel. He had about 30, 40 people in there. A lot of us jumped in because we thought the guy was funny, me included. So we listened to him and he was telling a few jokes. And then he said, well, what should I do on my channel? And I suggested you put some music behind you and talk about things you know. Somebody else suggested talk about Black subjects, talk about a history. So he was not the Black conscious guy that you see right now. He was searching for content like the rest of us. And because his claim to fame was Hollywood, I guess, and the comedy, people took Godfrey seriously, more seriously than they should have. But Godfrey was in a learning process. Everything that he is espoused to talk about now, he had to learn first. He crammed himself full of Black history. But because of the nature of who Godfrey is, every once in a while, because he didn't know what he was talking about, although his intentions was good, he led himself back to who he really was. Like the angry man. This is what you do. You lead yourself back to who you really are. You don't like Black women. You don't like Black culture. You like to chase clout. You like to chase bigger content creators. And here's a clear example of it. You are hoping that you say something here so egregious that Tasha K will call on you or call you out like you did Kevin Samuels. It burnt you up that Kevin Samuels did not mention your name. You remember the epic car rant that you had when somebody came in your chat room and said Kevin Samuels was the Godfather? He ain't no fucking Godfather. I built this space. Somebody was looking to call the ambulance for you, man. You almost stroked out.
Fears the Black American. Yo, what's good, man? Yo, the Black American, African American, being African American, learn how to act like an African American.
Black Americans. Where I come from in Zimbabwe, we watch hip hop music, and they always like, like I want to be in.
Black American. We got a game for you, man. African or African American? Ready? African American.
That Black Americans,
African American, African American. FBA. That is
the Black Americans,
African Americans,
Black American,
African American.
Your show is called 154. Celebrating Africa's 54 countries, one story at a time. So talk about Africa. The name of his podcast is 154 with an African symbol. And the description is celebrating Africa's 54 countries, one story at a time. Talk about Africa.
Like I said, folks, if you watch Angry Man long enough, let's see. I don't know. Hey, Richard, I don't know who you are. You're probably affiliated with somebody else, so I can't be a mod. I didn't ask you to be a mod. If I gave you mod privileges, I'll damn sure take them away from you. So let me get you up out of here. Trust me. If I gave you mod privileges, I'm damn sure that was an accident. Trust me. I thought I was getting rid of you. I'm not going to get distracted by that. Let's continue on here with Angry Man.
Why the fuck you always talking about us?
Well, correct me if I'm wrong. Godfrey did grow up around Black people. So that does lend credence to why he would speak about us, because he does have experience with, I don't know when exactly he came to this country, but if you let him talk about it, he grew up around Black people. Loudmouth schnook. You're absolutely right there, Zahara. What are you screaming about, Angry Man?
But it gets worse. But it gets worse.
Like the young lady that called, let me not even call her a young lady, the Muppet baby that sat up on your program and called us dirty Black Americans. She want to sit there and call us dirty Black Americans, but I seen pictures of her before she left Haiti, and she didn't look nothing the way that she looked when she came over here and picked up our dirty Black American swag.
Brooke, you gotta chill. Brooke, relax.
No, ain't no relax. Ain't no relax. Ain't no relax. Tell it how it is. Tell it how it is.
This is the same guy that complains about black women hairstyles. What is the purpose, Angry Man? What is your rationale for watching this? Because you stopped talking about Tasha K a long time ago. You stopped talking about the significance of ADO's foundational Black America a long time ago. Now it's all about you watching clips trying to prove your point that some folks in Africa don't like Black Americans. Right. So Godfrey has the experience of an American experience. Although his parents are from a different part of the world, what is the difference between Godfrey and, let's say, the Trumps? What is the difference between Godfrey and Marco Rubio? He was born in his parents were immigrants. There's so many instances I could roll out now and talk about people's parents that were born in a different part of the world, but they were born here. Now, some folks like to give them that moniker tether, but that's in the Constitution. The Constitution says if you were born on this soil, you're an American citizen by default. And maybe y'all don't know what a tether is, but a tether means you have to be attached by a string. Tether ball don't go nowhere. You just gotta hit it before it moves. Tether means a tied to something. I don't know. Maybe he thinks it's playing. I don't know. Can y'all hear anything?
Here you go, right here.
Well, Ramsey, let me respond to that. Ramsey, I guess some people will do feel that way, that he doesn't have the credence because he was really, as I'm going to use the term that a lot of the FBAs use, and I've heard Tariq Nasheed use it a whole lot, tether. So his experience, although he was born here, it isn't the same as the ADOs or the or FBAs, because you didn't go through that part of America. Your parents didn't. You might be the second generation of folks that came over here because of what the ADOs or the FBAs went through to let you come over here. And we're going to get to that a little bit later on Information Mainstream. I just wanted y'all to see this first to show you the difference between niggas who don't know what they're talking about and folks who, even though they're trying to point out how wrong you were about a situation, at least they're trying to do it in an educational fashion instead of screaming at the screen, hollering about how wrong somebody is, how somebody don't like you. Because I can guarantee you can go to any damn street in Atlanta, you can go to any street in New York, and you can go to any street in Chicago. You can go to any place where they got street vendors, and you can see this very same shit. It's not like you can't go to any town USA and find a fucked up city. The garbage is everywhere. Am I wrong? If you're looking for underbelly, you can find it anywhere in the United States. You ain't got to leave. It's here. We saw that if you was one of those Good Times fans, or you just discovering Good Times for the first times, look at the opening credits and the ending credits. It shows the ghetto from the top view and the bottom view, and also in between, it shows you how folks lived in the ghetto. Let's listen to a little bit more Angry Man before we get to the information, man, shall we?
So when somebody comes in here and tells me, you ninjas sound crazy talking about ninjas getting generational wealth from cutting black men's hair. See, you so stupid. You don't realize we're already supposed to have generational wealth. The reason we don't is because everybody gets paid off of us except us.
Listen, folks. Okay, Angry Man, that's enough. See, this is what I'm talking about. It's not like, Angry Man, it's not like it's not hard to go back into your archives and pull up an argument where you say something directly against that. It's not hard to do. And that's why I wanted to bring this to your attention. That's why when folks wanted to come over to my chat the other day and point out grifting and say clout chasing, this is clout chasing. Because everything that you say that you stand against is what your channel represents. How many videos have you done about black women's hair and weaves? How many videos have you done about black women and their weight? How many videos have you done about black women and their choice? So I'll ask you again, Angry Man and Beano Nation, what credence or credibility could you lend to this, calling yourself and living under the moniker of Beano Nation? Absolutely none. Right, Shard, that's enough. That's enough of that. I spent an hour too much on you, Angry Man. But let's go to my man here, the Information Man. Shout out to your Information Man. I don't know if you're in the audience or not, but again, folks, if you would like to, please go over to the Information Man. Like, share, and subscribe, if you don't mind. The brother, you might not agree with everything he talks about, and nobody does, but at least sometimes he tries to be fair and balanced. In this case, I think not only he gives Tasha K a backhanded slap, but he also educates her at the same time. So without further ado, Information Man.
I cannot speak on the foundational Black American movement because I'm married to a booty scratcher. Which they're entitled to their opinion. That's fine. That's totally fine. But here's what I think about the FBA movement and any other movement that has to do with Young Pharaoh, Brother Polite, Dr. Umar Johnson, all of these movements that y'all look up to, all these men, okay, that I guess guide you to help elevate your consciousness in these movies. Even Tariq Nasheed, ain't his wife like half white or something? Ain't Tariq Nasheed wife like half white?
So this, Tasha, if I was sitting in the studio with you, I would have asked you, so what's your point? So are you saying that we, as whether we delineate ourselves as Black Americans, whether we delineate ourselves as FBAs, or whether we delineate ourselves as ADOs, are you saying that all of us follow folks like these? That we can't delineate who's good in our community and who's not? If correct me if I'm wrong, but Black people put Polite on blast. Look here. You're not going to be amongst us with this. Once Black people found, how many streams has the Information Man done on Umar, calling him out for his grift? How many streams has Leonard Honor done on Umar, calling him out for his grift? And from what I understand, I don't know this guy that's sitting in the bottom left-hand corner here, but the internet is letting him have it right now too, especially the black internet. So these are not people that we follow. So why would you bring them as shining examples of uplifting the community? Because they didn't, and they never will. They were wolves in sheep's clothing.
But here's what I would say about the FBA movement. It's no different than the KKK.
Why? Why would you say that?
To divide.
Why would you say that? And honestly, this is the point, Tasha, I'll have to ask you. Were you butthurt, or were you being just totally unintentionally uninformed? And I don't think so. I think I've watched you enough now to know that you knew better than what you were saying. Sometimes hey, Candy Cane Lane, all eyes on you ain't good enough. It should not be the call of the day for you. No, that's not a Halloween costume. And why that's on the screen there, folks, let me ask you something. Who takes care of this fine linen? Who puts those patches? This is not like the scene from the Django. I can't see shit out this. This is fine silk and linen that these folks is wearing. Look how nice and that hood fits them. Somebody's doing it. Logic. Somebody's doing it, isn't it? Somebody's uplifting this. Somebody's keeping this in rotation.
Meant to separate you, to isolate you, to have you looking at other races that look.
Well, Tasha, the information man is going to school you. But before I do, let me tell you something. Again, you're being willfully ignorant was the word that I was looking for. Willfully, because you should know better. You should really know better. You've been around black folks enough to know that what you're saying now, there's no comparison in the two. You've been in Atlanta where the child murders happened, and some folks still believe to this day that Wayne Williams is not the only culprit. You've heard some of the horror stories of what it's like to go into Cobb County, what it's like to go into some of these other outlying counties in Georgia. You can't tell me you did not know this. You can't tell me that you haven't heard the story on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Watch for the sweep in Atlanta, because I guarantee you have. So I got to say you're being willfully ignorant because somebody called your husband a name. But look at all the names that you have called other folks. I ain't going to talk too much longer. Here you go.
Like you. And hating them for no reason. That is the same foundation and principles that the Ku Klux Klan build themselves on, which is protecting their whiteness, their pureness.
I'm going to keep it real for y'all. Tasha K, in my opinion, I just showed you the clip.
Okay, before you go, information, man. No ego, he says. That guy, lower left screen, is a pro-black activist, Young Farrell. I hadn't heard of him till folks start dragging him. So maybe I don't hang around the conscious community. I just say shit. I'm pro-black every day. Yeah, I'm black. I can't be no more pro-blacker than I already am. He usually went viral for wearing long spiked nails like the young. See, now see, I blame that on his mama making him all sedity like that. Candy Cane, are you saying that young Pharaoh is a skilled seamstress as well? Ain't nothing wrong with that now. But you know, if you kind of labeling yourself in the, I'm gonna get up. I'm gonna get out of that. No, I ain't gonna do it.
Expressed exactly how she feels about Black Americans or those that identify themselves as FBA. I myself am a Black person with lineage here, so I would fall under the FBA category. In particular, I'm a freeman because my ancestor, doing research, was a freeman. So when
And see again, already he starts off by by pointing out the difference between ADOS and foundational Black America. And I think he left out a little bit, but at some point in time, the majority of us in the United States, whether we want to believe that or not, we will fall under the category of American descendants of slaves. I know my heritage falls under that label. If there is such a label to be put on Black people, whether you're foundational means what? That you're Indians. But let me go into this a little deep here for you. You pull up a seat. Let me go a little deep into this. Foundational Black America means what? That you have all the privileges that they gave the Native Americans, including access to land that they granted to the Native Americans. So that's why the United States of America hates this term foundational Black America, because they're trying to prove that we were here before or slaves. And there's historical information now, thanks to the FBA movement, that will prove the fact that some Africans did migrate to this country. That's just bottom line to it. Some of them that were here that weren't slaves. And if you go back to some of the historical content, how as they described these folks, they didn't describe them as fair-skinned. Christopher Columbus described these folks as dark. E pluribus unum. No, I think foundational e pluribus is the lineage for those who weren't descendants of slaves, that they were here. So basically what they're saying is they all the fundamental rights that they give the Indians, of course, well, I don't know why, but you know, reservations, tax-free and all this other stuff, land and all that, like here in South Carolina. If you heard of the Choctaw Indians, there's no reason to believe that some of the Choctaw Indians weren't dark-skinned. There's no way that you could get on the eastern seaboard and not see dark-skinned people, because that is a natural port. Port Royal Sound is a natural deep water port. And that might be one of the places that the Africans who were seafaring could have ended up, in Port Royal Sound. It's not hard if you look at the historical things that's been being presented to us now. It's not hard to believe what Tariq and others are saying about being foundational. There it is right there. So that gives you, thank you, Shar. That gives you the direct definition. Instead of me guessing about it, that's the direct definition. Foundational Black Americans is a lineage-based term used to describe Black people in the United States whose ancestors were enslaved in the U.S. and emancipated after the Civil War. So there's not too much difference, as someone said earlier, between ADOS and Foundational Black America, other than a few words and an idea. Well, again, I don't mind being wrong. I stand corrected. I don't mind being wrong, Ramsey. That's the thing about me. You will find that if I say something, I don't mind being corrected. I appreciate being corrected. You can't teach an old dog new tricks. Believe me, I don't mind learning. I don't mind learning at all. But again, going back to this, Foundation of Black America is a lineage. So as someone said earlier, what is the difference? That's the part I was talking about, no ego, that he's trying to say that these people were here before slavery. So correct me if I'm wrong, Ego, by saying that it depends on how you listen to him or what you hear him say. What I was saying wasn't actually too far off from being wrong or too far from being right then, because he has delineated the two of the whether we were here before slavery. Well, I'm not, and again, to go back now that I've had time to read this comment, Ramsey, what I'm saying is basically, if you're foundational, that means that the American government decided because the indigenous Indians were here, that they would sign treaties and different things just so they could keep their land or whatever. So if you are indigenous to this region, if you lived here during that time before slavery, wouldn't you be entitled to the same things as the indigenous population? Wouldn't you fall under the term of indigenous? Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't mind being wrong, sir, but correct me. Go ahead, information.
Tasha K says what she says. It is a complete disrespect to Black people who have lineage here, who come off those plantations, who come off of from the South, who have created inventions here, who were a part of the civil rights movement, who made it possible for not only Black immigrants from the diaspora to come over here and prosper, live a life, go to a lot of our schools, HBCU schools, but to talk shit about us and then don't even have your facts right. And I'm going to keep it real. People are entitled to their opinion, but they're not entitled to their own facts. She called the FBA movement a movement similar to the Ku Klux Klan. Let's examine that, because the last time I checked, FBA hasn't done any raids on the homes of African people, Caribbean people. We haven't gone into your home and took the men out of the home and castrated them and hung them on trees. We know that the Ku Klux Klan, before all these immigrants got here to become citizens, it was Black Americans who had to endure the racism. The Ku Klux Klan breaking into people's homes, going into people's homes and pulling out Black men and hanging them. Emmett Till is an example of what Black Americans were dealing with. Black Americans were the ones.
Well, information, man, let me stop you right there. And I know, and I'm glad folks still keep this young man's name alive, but a lot of us have personal experiences. My Emmett Till, his name was Carl Williams. The only thing Carl Williams did as a young boy at 8, 9, 10 years old was be outside. That was the crime that he committed, to where somebody, we all know, somebody affiliated with the Klan caught him outside, did unspeakable things to him after they unalived him with his hands tied to a bicycle, stripped him down, threw him in a ditch like he was just garbage. Those stories resonate throughout the South, because I guarantee you, if you run into somebody in the South old enough that grew up in the 60s and the 70s, they have that personal story. We don't need Emmett Till, because we have our own personal stories of what happened in the 60s, the 70s, and in the 80s. We can go to Tyler, Texas, and see what happened to James Byrd Jr. We can go to 2026 here, August 13th of 2026. If you go to my Facebook page over there under Stevie Music, you will see on my or Instagram, you will see that I posted today where a Black policeman, an investigator, so he's been in the police force for a while, using the N-word with impunity and a whole lot worse. So these are the things that folks are talking about, Tasha K, to compare the racial climate of the Ku Klux Klan to FBA. Like Information Man said, when has FBA or ADOS blew up a church? When have they burned a cross in somebody's front yard? When have they gunned down a white man for just speaking his mind? When? Again, either you were being willfully ignorant or just flat out stupid because you were mad about somebody calling your husband the African booty scratcher. Like the fallback was not going to come worse. 3-4 days ago, of the shit that you said about Roland Martin, kitchen must have got really hot, huh?
That have their blood and their sweat in the soil of this country that made it possible for people like Tasha K and her husband to be able to prosper in this country. Now, from what I understand, Tasha K has a Caribbean background, and her husband, who is from the continent of Africa, one of the countries is Maui, if I'm not mistaken. Correct me if I'm wrong. He comes from a place in Africa that has a whole lot of problems.
Because they did a military coup overthrowing the current government, they got sanctions. And instead of working it out with ECOWAS.
And see, this is what I mean, the difference between what Angry Man was trying to portray and what the Information Man was trying to portray here. There's some real problems going over in that part of the world. But what Angry Man tried to show you was the result, not the reason why it's like that. And this is the reason why it's like that over there, Tasha.
They decided to leave. Mali, Burkina Faso, and Niger formed the Alliance of Sahel States, also known as AES. So if that's not divisive, I don't know what is. And then Mali itself is full of division. The Northerners versus the Southerners and all of the terrorism that goes on in Mali. And again, that's
in the continent haven't cleaned up the continent. You've got Pan-Africans who tell us that we should leave Africa when you have the Africans who know the culture, the four ways and Norways, the land better than us as Black Americans. They're trying to come over here while we got Pan-African folks telling us to run over there. Marcus Garvey, who never stepped foot in the continent of Africa, but came here and told Black folks to leave, that we should leave. Okay? This is why you know Tasha K has no understanding of what the FBA movement is, other than the fact that she doesn't like it, because people feel uncomfortable.
And that's the part I mean, Information Man. She's being willfully ignorant because you have the staff that could have corrected you. Like I said, with the apology you made, the apology made what we're reviewing right now worse. Absolutely it is, Shar. Absolutely it is. And that's why I use these two. That's exactly why I use the two barometers. You can check Tasha, but you can do it this way, or you can do it the Angry Man way. Which one do you think she's going to remember? Which one do you think she's going to pay the most attention to?
That for the first time in history, Black Americans are identifying ourselves and delineating ourselves as all the other groups have done that have arrived here in this country we call America.
Again, no disrespect, but say it loud. I'm Black and I'm proud. We did delineate ourselves. We did. That was the 60s and the 70s. There was no back to Africa movement. That was white man slang. The brothers was here with the fist up in the air. Say it loud. I'm Black and I'm proud. James Brown, Petey Wheatstraw, and all those other folks preached being Black, even though we're in the era in the midst of Blaxploitation. We came up with our own culture, whether you agree with it or disagree with it. We came up with our own language. Some of the things that we still do now, right now, like the dap, like the head nod. All that came from somewhere.
Mainly because of the 1965 Voters' Right Act.
Bingo.
Africans could not get on no plane or Caribbeans until after this day right here. Before this day right here, could no black person get on no plane. This today, Lyndon B. Johnson signed the Civil Rights Bill. There's go Martin Luther King behind him. If anybody tell you they was getting on the plane before this day, they lying.
Is somebody going to give the elder pushback? If anybody would know, wouldn't he know? He was in that era. He was around that era. I would imagine he was a young boy or a young man during that era. And I'll ask you something, folks. There's one surefire way to find out whether, and I don't know how it's one of those epiphany moments that every high school in America has a yearbook. So this is what I want you to do. I want you to go and find your elders' yearbooks. Open up to the junior, the freshman, and the seniors. And I want you to find me someone with an African name in the 1960s, the 1970s, or the early 80s. If you find one, it might be one or two. Yes, she did. What's up there, Luke Skywalker? Yeah, she did. She didn't follow the Force, did she? She went nuclear. But again, I hate to agree with Angry Man, but when right's right, she didn't expect this kind of pushback. She thought the winos was going to let this slide. Shit, no, they got over that hangover, a lot of them. They sobered up the next morning.
Where Dr. King, standing right behind LB, who was the president at the time, watched him sign into law the 1965 Voters' Right Act, which allowed immigrants, particularly your black immigrants and other immigrants, to be able to come over to America and prosper. They've been eating off our plate, the crochet, to make that statement. They've been eating off of they've been cosplaying us as well. They come over here and they've been disrespectful. Now I'm going to say
1970. It was 1970 for all of that was in effect. And if you go back and look, by 1975, the Africans start popping up.
Now, I want y'all to notice something. What's behind him? Vinyls. That's a keeper of history, folks. That's a sure indication that this elder on the screen knows what he's talking about. That's a sure indication of what he has behind you, because the rows and rows of albums, that's history behind us right there. That's history.
By 1976, 77, the Jamaicans started popping up. Because the first place the Jamaicans went was England.
Was he wrong?
50s.
Was he wrong? No, he's not.
They went to England. They couldn't come here. Wasn't no black immigrants flying here until in the 70s.
I'm not going to say all, but there have been some, and I've experienced it personally, that have been disrespectful to black American people. For the most part, when immigrants from other countries come here, they tend to isolate themselves and segregate themselves in their own community away from us.
Okay. And as a prime example of here's what the information man is talking about. I lived on the West Coast, San Francisco. If you don't think that place is segregated, you got Little Italy, You got Chinatown. You got Japantown. You got Koreantown. Then you have the blacks. Then you go to Mission Street and you have the Latino community. You go to Vallejo, you have the majority Filipino community. East Palo Alto, Filipino community. You go to New York, you pretty much, what I just repeated, you can find the same thing. Little Italy, Koreatown, Chinatown. You go to Atlanta, and if you go down some parts of East Ponce, you go to some parts of Stone Mountain, you go to some parts of whatchamacallit, you're going to run into a heavy Ethiopian and Somali population. Jimmy Carter Boulevard. Jimmy Carter Boulevard. If you're driving down Jimmy Carter Boulevard, you know that's a heavy Latino population that lives on Jimmy Carter Boulevard.
Whether it be East Africans, Nigerians, they tend to think, I'm in generalizing here, to think that they're better than us.
And not all information,
even though they haven't.
It's not all that think that way. It absolutely isn't. And yeah, the Radu. I hope you're saying it, Radulin. I hope I'm saying the name right there. 1087. Yeah, there's nothing like that. Hearing that needle pop on that what you want to call it. That sound that you get from a vinyl sometime, man. It's unmistakable, isn't it?
Made their countries better, but they come over here, go to our schools, get their education, but their countries are still in a bad state.
You know, you're a pretty sad black immigrant when you come to a country where you know people put their lives on the line just to use a restaurant, just to get on the bus. And you come here from Jamaica and the Caribbean and Africa with no regards to the people that put their life on the line for you to come here. This is my problem with black immigrants. They're very disrespectful to me. To me, they are. Because they can't do nothing without our ancestors. Their ancestors ain't did nothing for them, not when they come to the United States. Africans' ancestors in Africa did something for them in Africa. But when you come to the United States, you got to respect the black people that did something for you to be here.
And is the elder wrong for that? I agree with him. Just it's not we're not saying, I don't think the elder is saying bow down, but just respect. Just pay the respect of saying, hey, don't come here disrespecting what the reason. One of the very same reasons why you're here is because as the old saying goes, not all the scared niggas went up north. Some stayed here, like John Lewis said. Some of them stayed here and put up the good fight. Because without the good fight, before 1975, the average African could not catch a flight to come over here and just say, I'm visiting the United States. And that's historical fact. Again, folks, and I implore anyone to go back to any of the high school yearbooks from the 70s, the 60s, and the 80s, and find me somebody that graduated in your high school with an African last name. No, I haven't. No, not all Africans have not come over here disrespecting the culture. No, they haven't. Some of them have come over here not to use the word assimilate, but they respect the culture while keeping their culture intact. And there's nothing wrong with that. But to come over here and shit on ours saying this is better, this is the problem, Tasha, that you was going to run into by putting the Klan, FBA, ADOS, or any other black American, regardless of how, whether even if it's Beano Nation, black in name only, you fucked up. And folks showed you that they fucked up, yet you fucked up. Hey there, Kim West, how you doing? Welcome in, welcome in.
Tasha K calling FBA the same as the Ku Klux Klan shows you that she doesn't really have a grasp of history, because remember Billie Holiday sung a song called Strange Fruit, What do you think the strange fruit was, Tasha K? It was black men being hung like Emmett Till.
Now, Tasha, since I stopped you on the screen right there, if you go and you listen to that song, they mentioned a particular type tree. She mentions a particular type tree, the poplar tree. If you go throughout down here where I live, you know how many roads are named after that tree? Poplar Circle, Poplar Drive, Poplar Cove. But Billie Holiday wrote a song telling us that's where they used to dispose of our relatives at, on the poplar tree. And there's another famous poem out there, some writings out there that tells about the peach orchard. I wonder why the peaches tasted so foul. Because the peach orchard was placed upon a graveyard. And the peaches were full of worms. They taste bad. Go to Lake Lanier. Our ancestors snatched about 3 or 4 every year. If you're a diver, you go deep enough in the Lake Lanier, there's still whole houses that have not rotted away, that are intact down there. Tasha K, you made a major mistake. Will you recover from it? Well, you know, silence is golden. Some people will let you be quiet for a while, like you did with Cardi B. You went silent for a little while. You gained your following back up. You start talking nicely for a little bit. Then you fell off your rocker. You went too deep this time.
Most of your massacres in America, where you had Rosewood, you had Tulsa, Oklahoma, Black Wall Street, as some of us know it by. Why did they get burnt down? Why did those communities get destroyed? Because it was white men who were associated with the Ku Klux Klan and various white hate groups that were always jealous of black people having our own. See, for the most part, we want to be left alone. We don't want to be bothered. But Tasha K, you jump yourself into the argument because I get it. You're upset. Your husband got called an African booty scratcher, and you're defending him. You have the right to defend your husband. But where you messed up is when you decided to take a broad brush to stereotype the whole community. You see it as just an organization in some sort of small movement, but you actually were disrespecting all Black Americans. Because what's happening today is that Black people are now waking up and saying, you know what? This Pan-African thing isn't working, because Black people in America are the only ones that have been holding up the tradition of Pan-Africanism. Now, you also made a calculated mistake when you said in the opening statements of the video that I played for y'all that's been going around.
Hey there, Brownie Ellie. How you doing? Good to see you. Welcome in, welcome in. And right, Kim West, even after the knowingly, openly lying, and you bring up a good point. What you said about Cardi B was vicious. And to be quite honest with you, I don't know how you recovered from that. Listen, I know one thing for me, I don't follow you like that, but, you know, I have used your clips before. Some things you said I agree with, some things you say you didn't. But let's face it, Cardi B. Cardi B. Tasha K. What you said about Cardi B was foul. Let's compare what you said about Cardi B to somebody calling your husband an African booty scratcher. That's childlike. That's something we heard from Boys in the Hood. That movie, people have been called that since the beginning of time. That's part of the thing called the dozens. So you could not have been that mad about that. And if you were that mad about it, why did you not henceforth delineate yourself away from? I was not talking about all Black people. I was talking about them. Then the niggas that you brought up, Brother Polite. Umar, and the guy, what they say, with the long fingernails, that be, as someone said, he be twerking. Those are not representations of Black America. Well, they can be if you want it to be, but not for the majority of us. No, a lot of us think that's kind of weird for a grown man to be walking around with nails. From what I understand, the internet, like I said, I didn't fall into following it, but from what I understand, you can't get away from it. They roasted him up. Everybody talking about it. Young Pharaoh. And I agree with you there, Radulan. I think at any time before you go to any and visit any country, you should have make yourself prepared for its laws, its cultures, because you could be over there and innocently do something in Japan and end up there for the rest of your life. You could go to some places and get caned because this business of, I know in some places that I've been to, this business of openly disrespecting women, they don't go for that. They don't do that. So I think it's a great idea to know the laws, the customs, what's right and what's wrong over there. Going into folks' house, making sure you take your shoes off, greeting people in a certain way. All these different things play into doing your homework before you go visit somebody, especially another country. It might be disrespectful to eat with a fork.
You said that people in the FBA or the Black American, the movement, are looking up to Black men for some consciousness. You said Polite, who, by the way, is in prison right now serving time for being a child predator.
In prison. But we as Black Americans look up to him, Tasha. For example, go ahead, information.
What's up, family?
Y'all remember this guy here? Remember I said a long time ago, charisma in the wrong hands is a dangerous weapon. I don't really know how you folks found this guy charismatic other than he spoke well, other than he had everyone convinced that he was pro-Black.
We up in here. We in Columbus, Ohio. With the king right here. We had our real estate company, our development company, making it happen. So right now we're working on a 26 unit project here in Columbus, Ohio.
A man who said that he would still follow someone like York, because he ain't a real doctor, that he would still follow him even if he had touched kids. He's sick. Then you said that that Umar Johnson is someone that we're looking up to, a man who doesn't take care of his kids, isn't licensed as a psychologist, who's been claiming he's going to open up a school in a broke down building in Wilmington, Delaware.
What's up there, roguish Black therapy? You're right. I wasn't really doing as they call it content, but I heard about Brother Polite because, you know, if you were in the YouTube streets and certain things would show up in your algorithms. But from what I hear and from what I did listen to the other content creators, he was a dirty motherfucker. He was a low down dirty scoundrel, and he's right where he's right where he deserves to be. But let's talk about Umar. I don't think anybody other than the staunch Umar supporters still believe that the idea that we'll ever get a school out of him. Again, charisma in the wrong hands could be a dangerous motherfucker. Now, to me, Umar got back in the favor with Black folks rather quickly. I think folks put to the side of him talking about the school because he spoke about Nolan Wells. And y'all went right back to donating him. Y'all went right back to giving him the idea that he is the king. With our help, he became a celebrity. Black therapy. You're right, ABT. He's right where he's supposed to be. I hope he's in the cell with Big Hammer and Harry. And Harry is rather fond of little niggas in jail.
Going on close to 20 years now. Been collecting
Dr. Umar Johnson, Prince of Pan-Africanism. We live. Detroit, Shrine of the Black Madonna, numero uno, #1. I'm out building with the guys.
There we go.
Shout out to the Detroit Nawapian Nation for doing my security.
Yes,
looking out for Dr. Umar Johnson. They have my back. Nawapians all day long. Shout out to Dr. York. You're getting out soon. Hold your
Shout out to Dr. York. You're getting out soon. Hold your head up. Y'all find out what the horrible things that this man did. Look right there. He was sentenced. How do you get sentenced to 135 years and somebody still believes that you're innocent? I'm sorry. If you still following Umar, you're getting everything you asked for. If you still sending Umar money and you're a black person, you're getting everything that you asked for. Don't blame us no more. 135 years this man got sentenced to. And y'all just heard him say, hold your head up. I don't give a damn when he said it. I don't care if it was last week, last month, or last year. He still said it. Hey, Tanya, how you doing? Welcome in. Great to see you again. Always a pleasure.
head elder.
Technically since 2005. Now, then you're saying people like Young Pharaoh, I believe, as a therapist, as a professional, that he may be borderline person. He may have a personality disorder. He may be a borderline person because
he's gonna come out sexy. And y'all know I had to go to my favorite, the Asians, my favorite.
What the entire fuck is that? What in the fuck was that?
Come on now, dog. Come on, man.
What the fuck, man? How is this? Listen. No, never mind. Not gonna do it. No.
So,
not gonna do it.
Results.
Not gonna do it.
You gonna see if it's busting. If not, I'm a parking lot pimp, outside pimp till I bounce. Got me a stripper pole. She was chopping. So let me make sure I can still play the game. Sexarella. These them sexarellas, and they came out exactly how I envisioned them in my mind. I'm telling y'all right now, it was either gonna be this, shark teeth, or yellow viper scales.
having identity problems now.
Oh my God, them ain't identity problems. Information, man. That motherfucker know exactly who he is. He ain't got no problem. I almost threw up in my mouth. No, I don't want to see that, ABT. I don't. I'm listen. No, I'm not gonna do it. I am not, because listen, sooner or later you close your eyes, and if you sleep hard enough, you fall into REM sleep, rapid eye movement, because you imagine waking up to that horror story. No, I'm not gonna do it. I don't like horror movies in no way, shape, nor fashion. That would be a horror movie to see that nigga skedaddling on a stripper pole. Nah, I'm not gonna do it. Not today, not tomorrow. I don't know. I don't know what to say about that, folks. Listen, to each his own. And the best of business in the line of business is to mind your business. When you got no business, sometimes make it your business to leave other people's business alone. Yeah. I'm trying not to. I don't know the dude. I'm trying to, Kim and ABT, I'm trying to stay out that. I really am, but wait a minute. Wait, no, I ain't gonna do it. I was gonna back up, and when he said something, okay. And why he ain't got no shirt on?
Young Pharaoh. What do these guys all have in common? They were all a part of the Pan-African movement. All these guys hung out on Sinetta's TV's program, which really is centers itself around Pan-Africanism. Has nothing to do with foundational Black Americans or Black Americans who have foundation in this country from the very beginning. See, they...
Wait a minute. I'm trying to take my information seriously there, ABT. You ain't helping talking about it's a good crackle. See, the visual, I'm a visual person. So why did I just picture them folks from the dude from Rest of Soul, the Village People with a whip in his hand? Young man. Wow. What you say, bitch? You're not helping. I don't want to see that. Listen, if y'all want, young man, there's a place you can go. What you say, bitch? Wait a minute. I got something close to it though. Hold on. See, I tried to be serious.
I said your name is Toby. Kunta Kinte. Damn.
That's all I saw. Whap. All right, I'm gonna be serious. Okay.
But their system is that we should be this global Negro. This is my question. And I heard Brother Pharaoh says that, should I say the name correct, on his channel say this. How in the hell are we going to be this one big giant Negro, this unified Black diaspora, when you have
I'm sorry, but don't right now. Don't describe one big giant Negro right now with that baby all on the skin. Y'all stop it.
Africans in different countries like Nigeria, South Africa, where South Africa is delineating right now. They want Africans out of their country.
Yep. This thing of you guys moving from one country to the other, it's no longer working. We don't want this as African people anymore. We are tired of seeing African migrants moving all over the world, refusing to fix your own countries. Now we're making it very clear to you guys, Utitina, we don't want you here. We want you to fix your countries. Now you came here with a traveling document. You came with a passport. You know that you are a visitor, but now you decided to come and integrate in our communities. You know very well that what you have done is wrong.
How many children do you have here?
We can come to Ghana.
Africans.
Well, listen. I'm trying to get my composure about me, ABT. But you know, Ego, let me say this, my brother. Unfortunately, some people don't mind going to that extreme. Some people don't mind putting on the idea of, I can't do it. there's a limit to what money I would willing to settle for, and the things that I would do. There's no amount of money in the world that somebody could ask me to get on the screen, on a live stream, or anything like that, and kiss another man. I mean, to each his own. I mean, Flip Wilson was funny. Big Mama's House was funny. But to me, you got to have a little some principles about you. And this, to me, the price of fame is not worth my children's children seeing their great grandfather in a dress, because I won't be around to explain that. And I was kind of I wanted to go back because the lady that was talking, Rogish, she sounded African, and she sounded like she was talking to other Africans, that she was telling other Africans that we don't even want you in our country. But listening to her, does she not sound African? Let me go back a little bit.
It's no longer working. We don't want this as African people anymore. We are tired of seeing African migrants moving all over the world, refusing to fix your own countries. Now we're making it very clear to you guys, Utitina, we don't want you here. We want you to fix your countries. Now you came here with a traveling document. You came with a passport. You know that you are a visitor, but now you decided to come and integrate in our communities. You know very well that what you have done is wrong.
How many children do you have here?
We can come to Ghana.
Africans.
Yeah, that sounds like he looked African and she sounded African. So basically, again, just listen. Let me bring it back to the United States. Seems that's like the rich white folks telling the poor white folks, "We don't want you around here. We don't want to live amongst you." That sounds like the white folks in America telling the other immigrants that we don't want you here. Go back to your country. That sounds to me another African telling another African. Who's wrong about that?
Who don't like other Africans. And so if they have that mentality, and when they come here to America, what make you think that they want to unify, or they're capable of unifying with us as Black Americans, when a lot of times they come over with their tribalism? They bring tribalism with them. They manifest that tribalism in the way they carry themselves and the way they will treat us when they don't even get along with the Africans of different countries in their own country that they want out of their country.
Well, again, look a little bit more historical content, my man. You know, if you go back to the motherland, as they call it, you will see that not all the tribes got along with each other. There was always warring factions. The Zulus was kicking ass everywhere. You know, again, one of my favorite movies that I love to watch. I can't count the amount of times that I watched Shaka Zulu. To me, I think Shaka Zulu invented modern warfare. Well, as for the hand-to-hand, when I say hand-to-hand combat is what I meant.
The Nigerians have a term for us called kakata I may not be saying the term right, but Tasha K, when you talk like this, you're going to get pushback from people.
No, because you're upset that you think that I'm attacking you or whatever. And no, but I will say this. It's not divisive. You just haven't.
Now, again, one thing throughout my life, one thing my pop stressed it on me. Body language means a lot. And eye contact sometimes is the worst thing that you could give somebody. But out of not giving somebody eye contact, you can watch what they're doing and watch how they're. First of all, Tasha, I got a problem with you breaking out the fan. That shows you like you're about to tell me some bullshit, because we know what that fan represents. We ain't doing the line dance. the fan represents the black woman, girl, please. Am I wrong, ladies? I'm going to listen to you, but I don't agree with you. And then the constant movement, then the look on your face is like, So y'all, again, y'all pay attention to her face.
All of us. Now, what I won't do, I appreciate everybody, but what you're not going to do, and that's as far as African, they have pejorative terms for us as a group.
That's
we
right.
have been known as an Akata, a Jank, a Yankee, all these things, and that has been over the years, even in the 60s, 70s, and before that.
Yep.
A person who ran across that border today, and
see, does that look like somebody who's paying attention to you? Does that look like somebody that's listening to you? Or is that looking like someone that says, please hurry up and finish what you got to say so I can move on to the next person? There's no, again, your apology was worse. Because if you go back and look at this, even though this woman telling you how wrong you are, you're still not getting what she's saying. You're taking no credence. You're putting no credence to what she's saying and why your fans are upset with you.
anchored themselves here by the 14th Amendment that was meant for the babies of slaves is not the same. That is a melanated immigrant. Everybody originated from Africa. Let's understand that, everybody, including white people. But if it's divisive for some FBA to label their lineage, then it's just as divisive when nobody says anything about, oh, they're Bahamian American or they're Caribbean American. It's not the same thing. There is a difference. We all were enslaved, but there is a difference from us and a boat stop. And that's only offensive because...
Now, y'all noticed it too? How Angry Man reviewed that very same statement and how Information Man just understood what she was talking about. Y'all noticed it too?
We're telling the truth. For years, a lot of these people, not all, because I don't classify all, even though you're sitting here classifying all FBA as the same. No, ma'am.
Don't she look irritated? Don't she look like, please hurry up and finish? That's disappointing, Tasha. That should be disappointing. If the lady that's talking to you right now, I guarantee she feels like she ain't listening to me. She want me to shut up. All she hear right now is Charlie Brown. Want, 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 want. Because if you stop there in the middle of the sentence, she would guarantee you she would say, did you hear me? She would say, what you say? So again, Tasha, you did this to yourself. If I could pick this out, imagine what one of your staunch supporters is picking up from you right now.
All of us are not. But what they're not going to do is sit up here and disrespect us. And I hear you saying that some FBA can be disrespectful to Africans. I will admit that. But I haven't heard you once say, because you labeling all of us, that some of them call us a Jareer, an Akata, cotton picker, all these things. Let's be clear. Your boat stop, we all have a boat stop. That's damn true. That's very true. But you left your boat stop to come to this boat stop. We had an ethnogenesis. We are different. If it's not wrong for someone to label themselves as Caribbean American and they left their boat stop or their parents came here and anchored them here with that 14th Amendment, it's not divisive.
No, and it's not. It's not divisive if you're telling the truth. Truth needs no alibi. Stands on its own. And sometimes the best thing you can do when you have no pushback is to be quiet. Because right now, although she might, in Tasha's mind, this woman is berating her, but she's telling the truth. Just like the other elder earlier, he was telling the truth. And if you think I'm wrong, or you think the elder is wrong, or you think the lady that you're speaking is wrong, again, I implore anybody to go back to those yearbooks from the 1970s, the 1960s, and the early 1980s. Find me someone with the African last name that graduated. Go find me Nakembe Mutombo in your high school in 1975.
Okay. My man, O'Shea Duke Jackson. What's up, man? It's been a minute. I used to be on his channel and we used to have Sunday Rumble. O'Shea has made a change in the way he looks at his content. And I want to play a small clip from O'Shea Duke Jackson's channel. Shout out to the brother, because he really exposed something about Tasha K here as it relates to where her husband comes from and who she really gets her support from.
Tasha K cannot get any money in the African continent as far as being monetized. She's a very, very talented creator, but her money comes from the Black American audience or people that live in America. It was so bad that her audience let her know that. Nice T.
ABT, wow. You're absolutely right. Tasha better stop playing. The majority of her audience is Black America, particularly Black women. And the idea and the fact of the business that I'm in, folks, whether it be the landscaping business, no, I'm not a janitor. No, I'm not a janitor. Or in the DJ business that I'm in. Yes, I'm an authentic DJ. Yes. I'm aware that in both those businesses, they are run by women. The music industry and the landscaping industry. Because you're not going to walk up to the average dude and say, hey, man, can I cut your yard? Wait a minute, I'll get it. I'll get it for you, ABT. Since you brought it up, where's she at?
Vince, look at me. Look at me in the windows to my soul. Shut the fuck up. Shut all the way the fuck up until you reach the top of Shut Fuck Mountain, where there are no more fuck ups to shut.
But again, Tasha, this is where your bread is buttered. And those 30K people that you lost, I guarantee the majority of them were women. And they told her how they felt about your comparing Black folks to the Klan. They let you know. Isn't that what we call for? When white folks piss us off, isn't that what we call for an immediate boycott? They gave you what you asked for. An immediate boycott to that bullshit.
Girl, delineation is here to stay. Lorraine Jackson, you still have time to take this post down because you're about to get dragged talking about the most powerful, influential, resilient, spiritual, divine, chosen people in this world. You only feel that way because your husband is African. Way above your pay grade. Stick to gossip.
All right. This is why, from what I understand, that Tasha K has lost maybe 30,000 subs, maybe more now, because her support, she failed to recognize who her audience really is, who really supports her. Her audience that put her on the map was not the Black African audience. It wasn't the diaspora of the world. It wasn't Maui, where her husband comes from. It wasn't Nigeria. It wasn't West Africa. It wasn't South Africa. It wasn't the Congo.
It certainly wasn't, Tasha. Again, I've been following you for quite some time, and I remember you. I didn't know your name. I just said there's a young lady out there and riding around in the streets of Atlanta. She's out there live at 10, 11 o'clock at night, delivering toys to children. Y'all need to go check out that channel. Come to find out that Tasha K had morphed into this. But again, folks, I hate to say this, Tasha K, but money sometimes just turns you into the person that you already are. Money makes you forget who built you. And I understand that you have loyalties to your husband. Now, maybe your husband can foot all the bills, or maybe your husband can replace their money that you're about to lose. But was it worth it? Was that one statement worth everything that's going on right now? Again, were you just willfully ignorant, or you butthurt? That's why she went on that apology tour, ABT, because the fallout was swift and immediate. I'd go with the Baileys, my man. It's a little bit smoother. You know, that Jack Daniels might send you a little bit later on worshiping that porcelain god. I'd go with the Baileys.
It was good old fashioned, bred right here at home, Black Americans, FBA, ADOS, Freeman, whatever we choose to call ourselves. It was Black Americans that put your show on the map.
Yep.
The majority of your audience, the Winos, are Black Americans.
Yep.
The majority of the people that put you where you are financially and have elevated your YouTube channel to where it is over these years have been Black Americans.
And I guarantee a lot of that support came from those Black Americans in the South, Atlanta. I guarantee you a huge number of your followers are in the Atlanta, Georgia area. I can guarantee you that. Well, I understand that. I understand that sometimes. I'm gonna get out of that, my brother, and enjoy your drink. I understand that. I got through mine with music, but I understand.
You sat up there and named a bunch of dudes, Polite, who's a child predator, a man who's lost his mind as well, young, goofy Pharaoh, and a man who's a grifter, a liar, and he's also always referring to Black women in a sexual way, your Umar Dummy Johnson. None of them are part of the movement. They are Pan-Africans and have been for a very long time. Most of the Black conscious movement, if not all of it, operates off of a Pan-African paradigm.
And he's absolutely right about that, ladies
I
and
also
gentlemen.
want to say to everybody that watches my channel that I took down the Roland Martin video because I realized that, you know, Tasha K deals in gossip, just like Poetic Flacco, who, by the way, is catching hell right now because Poetic Flacco has a history of talking negatively about Black Americans.
Now, before he gets to that, that's not the only problem that I'm having with Poetic Flacco. Somebody I was using Poetic Flacco to cover something one day, and somebody left me a message and saying, "Don't use that guy. He's an asshole." And I didn't do my complete homework, so I went back and I looked at some of the stuff about Poetic Flacco, and she was absolutely right. He is an asshole. He's absolutely right. But let's listen to why I think Poetic Flacco. First, let me say this. I think you went, not that you talked about Roland Martin. I think you paid too much attention to his tallywhacker. You was examining that thing just a little bit too much. You was a fanboy. If any of y'all went back and saw the video of him being on Tasha K, he was a fanboy. You was googly-eyed. Look at me and Auntie. Come on now. But I understand, basing to what the information man just said, that you took that to Tasha K because you know that she would be messy about it.
Now, I got to keep it real. I think the reason why Poetic Flacco, when I really think about it, brought this whole thing about Roland Martin and his sexcapades outside of his marriage to Tasha K is because he knows that the FBA movement isn't very fond of Roland Martin. And I think he was trying to score everybody, listen to me, points, brownie points, an A+ with FBA. But it also backfired now on him because now it's come out that he has said some horrible things about Black American people. Because I hate to use that term tether, but if there's ever a person that's a tether, Poetic Flacco fits it to a T.
White supremacy, Trump. I enjoy and love Trump, right? I feel like Trump is a wonderful person to me. I enjoy his characteristics more than I enjoy Kamala.
Nick Fuentes.
He's white. He's a white supremacist, but he's Mexican. Okay, I can deal with him because he keep it a buck. I'm for purizing America, getting rid of every other race, all the months, get rid of them. I'm all for that. Open and honest. Like saying, yo, I voted for Trump because Trump reminded me of what the good old days were like.
And just being as much of an Uncle Ruckus as you possibly can be.
Some of us, we might support Trump for other reasons, right? Some Negroes might say, yo, the good old white man gave me $1,200, right? Niggas voted for Trump for giving them $1,200.
Or Poetic Flacco blew up on YouTube. He was already talking negatively about Black people, particularly
already. So for those of you who don't know that about Poetic Flacco, now you know. Now you know. This is what he thought about us as Black Americans. Because you can't align yourself with Donald Trump and say you got Black America at heart. And if you notice, if you go into Poetic Flacco's catalog, that's what he does. He finds the worst of us to talk about. Because listen, he could have done a whole lot more on Chud the Builder. He could have done a whole lot more on Chud the Builder. But he just said, I don't want to talk about that no more. Let me talk about some Black spicy shit. Describing that man tallywhacker to a T. I don't know no real man that's going to do that. You know, they're going to take me to another part of life. Hey, put that away. Don't want no Jello after. Who can have Jello after done seen that? But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, again, if you don't mind, go over to Information Man's channel and tell him DJ Music sent you. Like, share, and subscribe. I do. Again, we may not agree on everything, but on this pretty incident right here, we agree that Tasha K, you were wrong. I hope maybe that you'll go back and educate yourself on why you were wrong. And maybe some of your fans will forgive you. But I don't think so. Like I say, it's hard to get back on the other side once you've crossed one side of the track, especially with loyal supporters. Once Superman has lost his cape, it's hard to convince somebody that you won't do it again. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, if you are interested, coming up right about now on Classic R&B Jams, it is DJ Jeff Daniels and the JDCD. He's going to bring you 4 hours of funk fusion, smooth R&B, and some smooth jazz. If that's what you're into for a Friday night, sit back and chill. That might go good with your Baileys and Irish cream right there, my man. Or if you get a little Jack Daniels up off in you, go ahead and do that. Sit back and chill. Or you folks can catch me this Sunday night at 8 p.m. live on Classic R&B Jams. I'll be playing some hits from the decades. We're doing the Quiet Storm this week, keeping it smooth and relaxing. 3 hours of your, as they say, some of your favorite I Want to Get Next to You love songs and things like that. So tune in if you like. The description will be down there, and the links will be down there in the description. But before I gotta say one thing. One thing I will not stand for, folks, is for someone to soil my reputation, or for someone to take what I have done, what I consider part of my life works, to be a DJ or to provide a source of entertainment to people, whether it's good, bad, or indifferent, and try and make a mockery of it. I spent a lot of time building what you see in front of you, classic R&B jams. I spent a lot of money, and the people that that are connected with me through this station, they can all tell you one thing. Mr. Music or DJ Music or Stevie Music has never asked me for a dime. I've been doing this for 14 years, and I'll be damned if I'm going, well, 24 years, inside and outside. And someone made the reference of, oh, because you don't post, because when I take in pictures of folks, that means I could be responsible for putting somebody's business out in the street, putting somebody's address indiscriminately out. But it's not like I don't have it. I have my own archives. So I know you're in the cloud somewhere. This is the only attention that I'm going to give you. This is it. I'm not a janitor. I'm not sitting in a halfway house. I don't need to go to the bread line. I don't need to go to the hot plate line. And believe it or not, even through years of working, 30 years of working constantly, I'm still gainfully employed, not by Uncle Sam, but by myself. So watch what you say about me. Watch how you talk about me. With that, ladies and gentlemen, thank y'all so very much. Appreciate the fact that y'all hanging out with me for the last couple of hours. Not sure when I'll be back live. I know I'll be out in the field all day tomorrow. And of course, Sunday night, I'll be doing my little music shopping. So Monday might be my next live. I think I'll get back into the politics side of things again and go over there and hang out and do some political ideas. So a logical assessment. I haven't forgot about what you want to. Again, you have my email. Send me the information that you would like to cover. And I'd love to bring you up on my platform and chop it up with you. All right. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, remember, the grace of day costs you absolutely nothing. Say hello to someone. Might change the way they're thinking, might change the way they're living. You never know if you walk past them and don't say hello. Peace out. And remember, we all got to live here, like it or not. Be careful, Tasha, of what you say.
Look, all you motherfuckers been snitching for him and shit. Now you standing up in here and goddamn it talking about preacher. Fuck that nigga. Fuck that. I'm gonna shoot your ass too, motherfucker. Keep on. You gonna get shot too, nigga. You gonna get shot. God bless the fool, goddammit. God bless the fool. Now, I'm gonna tell y'all something. I'm gonna end this goddamn thing. Look, where's that goddamn money bowl at? Who got that money bowl? We taking that money right now before you leave this bitch. We ain't leaving out here for free, motherfucker. Yeah. Y'all know the motherfucker ain't no good. You want, look,